येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। मूकं करोति वाचालं पंगुं लङ्घायते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे श्रीगुरुं दीनतारिणं। कृपया क्षमतामपराधिजनं खलु शायुतशक्तसुदीननरं। सुपथे परिचालय सर्वदिनं प्रणमामि च माधवदेवपदं। वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपासिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। नमो महावदान्याय कृष्णप्रेमप्रदायते कृष्णाय कृष्णचैतन्यनाम्ने गौरत्विषे नमः। पञ्चतत्त्वात्मकं कृष्णं भक्तरूपस्वरूपकं भक्तावतारं भक्ताख्यं नमामि भक्तशक्तिकं। तप्तकाञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धो दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिकान्त राधाकान्त नमोऽस्तुते। भुजे सव्यवेणुं शिरशिशिखिपिच्छं कटितटे दुकूलं नेत्रान्ते सहचरकटाक्षं विदधते। सदा श्रीमद्वृन्दावनवसति लीलापरिचयो जगन्नाथस्वामी नयनपथगामी भवतु मे। वन्दे नन्दव्रजस्त्रीणां पादरेणुम् अभीक्ष्णशः यासां हरिकथोद्गीतं पुनाति भुवनत्रयं। भक्त्या विहीन अपराधलक्षैक्षिप्ताश्च कामादितरङ्गमध्ये कृपामयी त्वां शरणं प्रपन्नवृन्दे नुमस्ते चरणारविन्दं। भूमस्वखलितपादानां भूमिरेवयवलम्बनं त्वय्यजातयपराधानां त्वमैव शरणं प्रभु। वागीशा यस्य वदने लक्ष्मीर्यस्य च वक्ष्यसि यस्यास्ति हृदये संवित्तं नृसिंहमहं भजे। श्रीकृष्णचैतन्यप्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैतगदाधर शिवासादि गौरभक्तवृन्द। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। नारायणं नमस्कृत्य नरं चैव नरोत्तमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरयेत्। So we are hearing the story of Pigeon. From the pigeon he learnt a lesson that if one is overly attached or overly concerned about anyone, he will ultimate result is only distress. He will only become more and more worried and distressed by doing so. So in this regard, Avadhuta Brahmana is explaining a story that there were two pigeons. They were living very happily in a forest in a nest, and they were attached to each other's beautiful words, beautiful sight, etc. And they spent several days like this, and the she pigeon, whatever she was asking for with her beautiful voice and submissive, humble manner, everything was being fulfilled by the he pigeon, even though it is very difficult to fulfill those. Over a period of time, the she pigeon laid eggs, and then at time appropriate, the eggs hatched, and then slowly the babies came out of those eggs. And again, after few days, slowly the babies grew up. Their tender limbs, tender wings, they started to come, and then they started to make chirping sound. The parents were very happy to listen that their children are growing, and then they are they were very happy, and they used to love, share affection to the children. And then seeing the little attempts of the babies to fly, the parents became extremely happy. So in this way, several days passed by, and They were all happy as a family. Then he says that deluded by Vishnu Maya, the Maya of Maya potency of Supreme Lord Vishnu or Krishna, both these male and female pigeons, they were very happy and extremely busy in taking care of their children, the babies. So now we'll continue to read from Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, 7th chapter, verse number 62. Ekada जन्म तुस्तादासाम अन्नार्थम तौ कुटुंबिनौ परितः कानने तस्मिन्नर्थेनौ चिरम एकदा बहु पोष्ययुक्त कपोत कपोती शिशुगणेर खाद्य संग्रहेर जन्य गमन करिया तत् संधानार्थ उक्त वन मध्ये सर्वत्र भ्रमण करितेछिल. So one day both the pigeons, they were the what do you call, the heads of the family, both of them, the male pigeon and the female pigeon. So they went out of like any other day, they went out of the nest to fetch the feed for the children, like the pigeons go from place to place to fetch the food for their babies and for themselves also. So one time they, in order to fetch the food for the babies, so both of them, the pigeon and the male pigeon and the female pigeon, both of them went into the forest in search of food. So one incident comes to my mind. When in Calcutta, we were in, that was a rainy season. So we were in Calcutta. Guru Maharaj was sitting in the balcony, Calcutta mud balcony outside. There's a small balcony where he would walk. So he was sitting there. So he was sitting in the balcony, and just behind that balcony there is a tree, big tree. So when I think it was winter, or I don't know, it was rainy season, I'm not very sure. So when I went into the balcony to see Guru Maharaj, what he was doing, because he would walk with his japa in the morning, and then he would sit for a while after that. So he was sitting, then I just went to see what Guru Maharaj was doing. So when I went there, Guru Maharaj was sitting in a very contemplative mood. He was thinking something. So then I sat next to him, seeing that maybe he has something to say or something like that. So I just sat near him. He was watching the tree on which there are birds. So he was watching them, and then he told, birds, they bring food for their children. They go from place to place, they collect food, because the small birds, they cannot fly. So the birds, those who are parent birds, what they do is they go from place to place and they collect food and they feed their children. I said, yes. Then where do they go? I said, maybe to wherever they get food they go. Then suddenly he paused for some time, and then he told, what will they do in the rainy season? Because when they fly, they cannot fly in the rainy season, they will get wet. For us, we have umbrellas, we can take umbrellas and go. So how will the babies be fed in the rainy season if they cannot fly out? And actually I saw that Guru Maharaj was not saying it in a joking way, was actually genuinely concerned. He was worried. इसको बंद कर दें, ये टाइम में बहुत ज़्यादा डिस्टर्बेंस करते हैं. Translation.
I'm sorry if I bothered you.
So he was actually not like just like asking a question to find out what this thing is, but I saw he was genuinely concerned, very worried that what the birds are going to eat in the rainy season, because they cannot fly If they cannot fly, the parents will not get food, and the small babies, they're always dependent, they're always crying, they don't understand the reason, but they keep crying when they are hungry. So how will they get food? Then I was, I just could not say anything. I just waited that, maybe that was just a question, but actually I was genuinely concerned. Then I told Guru Maharaj, I don't know. Actually, I really don't know what they do in the rainy season. I don't know. But the thing is, what I saw and what I understand on that particular day was, actually we are never concerned about anyone. Whether our stomach is full or not, whether we are getting our food on time, whether we have proper accommodation, whether we are all right. This is always our concern. We are never worried for a person who is next to us also, whether he is okay or whether he wants anything. But you see, the concern, the love that a pure devotee has, because they say that pure devotee is equal to all. His love, his care, affection is equal to all the living entities. No, there is no attachment. We get attached. If we take care of a dog, let's say, I take care of dog. But the thing is that we get attached. We see it as an object of our enjoyment and do it. That is different. But Gurudev was genuinely concerned for well-being of everyone. So this is how the pure devotees, they have, for each and every small living entity, insignificant entity, they think about their food. Guru Maharaj used to supply food for the ants in his own room, not worrying about they are going to bite him. Like we hear the story of the sadhu and the scorpion. He is repeatedly lifting it, but the scorpion is biting him. He is not worried. It is doing its duty. The scorpion is doing its duty, but sadhu's duty is to protect. In a similar way, sadhu will not leave compassion aside. The sadhu's compassion will never be gone. Even in the most testing conditions, most hardest of the conditions, a sadhu is very merciful. His compassion will not do. That's the nature. A fire will not say, here is a boy, so I will not burn him. Here is an old man, I will not burn. No, it is the nature of the fire. Similarly, it's the nature of a sadhu. Or a water will not say, I will not wet him. No, it's the nature of water. So in a similar way, it's the nature of a sadhu to be compassionate. Others may change their characters. Others may change their behavior. But sadhu is always compassionate. He is not affected by any of the activities of others and change his course of action. Never. That is the sadhu. Anyway, that was a side story. It was not the main story. Just remembered that when the birds went to fetch the food for the children, I just remembered that how Guru Maharaj is so compassionate. So these two birds went outside to fetch food for the children. Drishta tan lukkakaha kaschid yadrichhato banecharaha jagrihe jalamatatya charatah swalayantikē। এই অবসরে কোনো এক ব্যাধ यदृच्छाक्रमे वनमध्ये भ्रमण करिते करिते नीड़ समीपे कपोत शिशुगणके विचरण करते देखिया जल विस्तार पूर्वक ताहादिके ग्रहण करियाछिल। So now the bad time begins. All these days it was very nice. They were very happily living. So when these two birds went out to fetch the food, a hunter came. Hunter came and he saw that these small birds, the baby birds, they are playing in the courtyard near the tree. They are playing, eating or picking certain things, and then they are playing among each other near the tree in the nest. So when the hunter saw, here are so many beautiful small birds which are my food. So what he did, he had thrown a net in order to catch them. নিজ বাসার নিকটে শিশু সন্তানগুলি চরিতেছে দেখিয়া কোনো ব্যাধ জল বিস্তার করিয়া তাহাদিগকে ধরিল। So Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur is saying that a hunter has come and then he saw that they were playing around. And he caught hold of all the small babies. कपोतश्च कपोती च प्रजापोषे सदोत्सुकौ Gatau Poshanamādāya Swaneedam Upajagmatu Jagmatu. अनंतर संतान पालनोत्सुक अतएव ताहादेर आहार्य संग्रहे गत कपोत कपोति आहार्य संग्रह पूर्वक निज वासस्थाने प्रत्यागमन करिल. So after some time these two pigeons who had went to fetch food for the children, both of them bringing some good parcel for the children as food stuff, they returned to the place of the children's stay and Nija Vasasthan Pratyagaman Korila. So they returned from wherever they had been all the time to get the food. Kapoti Swatmajan Viksha Balakan Jala Sanghritan Tanabhyadara Dhavat Kroshanti Kroshato Brishadukkhita. तखन कपोती शावकगण के जालबद्ध एवं मातृदर्शने विलापो रत दर्शन देखिया अतिशय दुखिता होइया रोदन सहकारे ताहादेर अभिमुखे धावित होइल. So the first mother has more attachment to the children. So the she pigeon, she saw that all the children were, in trouble. They were all under a net, and therefore seeing that the children, after seeing the mother, they even shout louder. Is it? Ma, mother. They come, mummy. When, they also shout, but when mummy comes in front, then they shout even more louder. So when they saw that she pigeon and the he pigeon, they have come, they started shouting. The pigeons, the baby pigeons, they started shouting for the mother. And now, naturally, mother has affection for the child, and then the children are in trouble and they're shouting the mother's name. Then Rodan Sahakare, she started crying. The she pigeon, she started crying, and then she went towards the net. She wanted to try to help the children come out of the net, because she wants to try all the way, by all her means, to get the children out of the trouble. So she went towards the net. Sasakrit Sneha Gunita Dina Chitta Jamayaya स्वयंचावध्यत शिचा वद्धान पश्चन्त्य पमृतिः. विष्णु माया प्रभावे स्नेहबद्ध चित्ता कातर भावापन्ना कपोती स्मृति शून्य होइया शावकगण के आबद्ध देखियाओ स्वयं तत्काले जाल द्वारा आबद्ध होइलो. So now, by the influence of Vishnu Maya, there are two things. One is Vishnu Maya, external potency, or Antaranga Maya, the external Maya or the Lord's internal Maya. Of the Lord's internal potency, Antaranga Shakti, or in the control of Lord's external potency. The living entities, when they forget that Supreme Lord, then the Vishnu Maya, they get deluded. As we heard, I think day before or yesterday, that our actual relationship is with the Supreme Lord. Our Guru Maharaj, he often used to say, actually all of us should mourn for forgetting our relationship with the Supreme Lord. We mourn for the temporary relations of this material world, but we should be sorry that we have forgotten our true relationship with the Supreme Lord. But it doesn't happen. That is the pitiest part in us, that we are not mourning for our true relationships with the Supreme Lord, but with the temporary relation. That is the influence of Maya. Whatever is the extent of Maya covering we are in, so much we are trapped into this. So by the influence of Vishnu Maya, she is completely captivated by the Vishnu Maya, external potency of Supreme Lord. Sneha Baddha Chitta, she was overcome or overwhelmed with affection towards the children because of the covering. I have given birth. You see, we heard the other day also, that wherever we devote our energy, we shall go there. That is the principle. The baby was not there before. But once the baby came, how much ever love, care, affection you give, so much of attachment you will have towards the child. When the baby is inside the womb, let's say the mother has miscarriage or something happens, she will feel little hurt, definitely, but she will not be overly attached. She will not keep on lamenting or crying for several days, because she lost. She will feel unhappy about it. Let's say the baby comes out, but after that he cannot sustain, he leaves the body, he dies after coming out of the womb. Then also there is a lamentation for the mother, because for 9 months she had kept him in the womb, and for 9 months she had been serving him. There will be little more than the miscarriage thing. But as more and more she gets involved in the service of the child, after the child is born, and she is involved in the service of the child, after 2, 3, 4 years, if the child were to depart, then she will have more and more lamentation. Why? Because the more energy we provide to the material things, so much of attachment we will get, and that attachment becomes stronger and stronger and stronger. That is why our actual object of attachment should be Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. That is why I said, if one has the kama, lust, one should dovetail it in the service of Krishna. The gopis are perfect in that. They have all the desires, they have dovetailed towards Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. And that attachment is complete. That attachment is complete because they are attached to Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. In Brajadham, there are all the sakhas, the friends, they are all going to the forest every day. In spite of, each and every gopi has their own child. Gopi meaning those who are milk women, the motherly. They have their own children. But still, somehow they have attachment to Krishna. They always want to see Krishna. What he ate, they want to invite him to their house to eat, because there is some charm in Krishna. It is very unusual that a mother loves another's child. It's very unusual. A mother loves her own child. But in Golokadham, it is so, even though they have children, their attachment to their children is less. But their attachment to Krishna is more. The cows, they want to get the touch of Krishna rather than the touch of their own calves and the babies. The cow also feels, a kind of satisfaction when the calf comes and touches the udder. But when Krishna comes and touches the udder, then the cows become very happy. Because they don't have, of course, even though all those babies, they're all Krishnamai. In Golokadham, they are not like people like us. Everyone is spiritual, but still they have a very special inclination towards Krishna. So the gopis, means the milk women, they wanted to get association of the Lord. They wanted to constantly see Lord, because Mother Yashoda, he does not allow him to come and take food in their house. So the gopis, they were praying, when will any day come or not? So it happened through Brahma's stealing of the cows and the calves and the cowherd boys. When Brahma stole them, Krishna has expanded into numerous calves and also cowherd boys. And now he went into each house like their own child. No one knew this. Nobody knew this. Even Balaram was also not aware of this. By his own influence, by his own Maya. So all the children, they went to their respective houses. This time the gopis, the milk women, they were feeling our attachment to Krishna has come down. We are getting more attached to our children. Means we are in Maya. Something happened to us. Earlier we were eager to go to Krishna, see Nandarani, and then let us have darshan of Krishna. They would take some or other complaint. But now nobody is willing to go to Krishna. Everyone is happy with their own children. Balaram was thinking there is something wrong. This is not usual, because they will come up with something or other to take darshan of Krishna, but this is not happening. Then through his divine vision he could see, oh, this is Krishna's play. The cows, earlier they were thinking that they were not ready to give milk unless Krishna comes and touches them. But now, just when the babies come, they are feeling so much blissful. They are licking the babies so much. Means it looked like everyone got attached to their children, but actually it is Krishna who had expanded himself into all the gopas, our boys, and then he went, therefore they got attached. So this is the attachment that the Brajavasis have got. They are never attached to their own family, children, wife or anything. Their center of worship is Supreme Lord Shri Krishna. So this is the reason that world is always happy, blissful. There are no multiple centers of interest, only one center of interest. In this material world, we have multiple centers. My child, my husband, my wife, my mother, my father, my country, my street. My street is okay, free from coronavirus, no problem. Let the next street burn into ashes, no problem. My street should be free from, isn't it? That is our extent of attachment. I mean, even if someone has that concern. Mostly, if my room is free, okay. Even the next neighbor room is also there, I am not worried. My room should be free. Street is still, there is some little more concern for more living entities. But we are only concerned about ourselves. So if everyone has different self-interests, then clashes will definitely come. But there only one interest, that is to please Supreme Lord. Therefore, those who are under the spell of the Lord's internal Shakti or Maya, they are always blissful. And even if they look anxious, sometimes they are also anxious, isn't it? One demon is coming, Krishna is being attacked, and mother becomes very anxious. But that anxiousness is very good. Why is it very good? Because the object to whom they are anxious for whom that anxiousness is there, that is Supreme Lord. Isn't it? That the object to which they have attachment, obviously, wherever there is love, there is going to be anxiety, for sure. Whether it is spiritual world or material world. Wherever there is love, there is that fear of separation, fear of anxiety, that is going to be there. But if the object is material world, because this is temporary, their fear will only continue. But in the spiritual world, they have fear, they have anxiety for Parabrahma, for Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, that only intensify their love towards Krishna. Here, it intensifies love towards their babies or children or wife or husband, whatever. That will only capture him more and more into material world. Increase their love towards Supreme Lord Sri Krishna. Therefore, Vishnu Maya is just the opposite of Krishna. Krishna Suryasam, Maya hoy Andhakar. This is like ignorance. And that is Suryasam, that is like light, bright light. So here he is telling that under the influence of Vishnu Maya, Snehabaddha Chitta, the mother became overwhelmed with the affection towards her children. Kataro Bhavapanno, and she was completely, worried about what is going to be the future of the children. Kapoti Smriti Shunya Hoya. And when one is overwhelmed with all these things, when one is deluded by the attachment to this material world, then he will become Smriti Shunya. He will lose his intelligence. All the good intelligence will be lost at that point of time, in a deluded state. You see, when one becomes anger, you observe, one is very angry, some hormonal reaction or some chemical reactions happen in such a way that you actually don't know what you are doing. Isn't it? Everyone might have experienced this. It's not new. Something happens that you don't know what you are behaving, how you are behaving and what you are speaking. Because the point is, the intelligence is completely lost. You are deluded in something. In the deluded state, you lose yourself. Good intelligence is gone. Whatever you heard from Gurudev, that you should not speak ill about others, you should not do this, you should not, everything is completely lost in that deluded state. Good intelligence is gone. So here for the Kapoti also, for the she-pigeon, she was completely deluded and therefore her intelligence is gone. She is seeing that my children are under trouble, but she is not able to think that I am also approaching trouble. She cannot think now. So, Shabakgan ke Avadh dekhiao, she saw that the children are, under the bondage of the net. They are trapped in the net. She saw, but in spite of that, tatkale jaladvara abadha hilo. She also ran towards that net, and then she also got captured. So he got one extra free, isn't it? The hunter, he got free. He only thought to take the babies, he got one more free of cost. Take one, buy one, get one free. Because of asakti, because of attachment, because of over attachment to material things. Kapotah swatmajan baddhanatmano apyadhikan priyan bharyanchatma samam dino vilalapati dukkhitah. कपोतौ प्राणाधिक प्रियतम संतानगण के एवं आत्मतुल्य भार्या के आबद देखिया दीन एवं अति दुखित भावे विलाप करते लागलो. So now the hunter is going to get one more free. Buy one, two, get two free actually here. Offer is even more nice because of the attachment. So he's telling that when the he-pigeon, he was seeing all these things, he saw that he has loved his children more than his own self. It happens, right? The parents, they want to give their life if that can save their children. They want to save their children at any cost. Even if it means that they have to give up their body or life, they are ready to do it. So now, see, he has loved the children more than his own self. And Atmatulya Bharya, and his wife is like his own good self. If wife is not there, then his life is not there. For the children, he has loved them more than his own self. Therefore, he saw both of them under trouble now. Wife also in trouble and the children also in trouble. Evang ati dukkhita bhave vilap korte laglo. Now in that state, what he did? He started to, lament. He saw his wife is in trouble. He saw his children are in trouble and started to lament like this. Aho me pashyatam ayamalpa punyasya durmate atripta syakritarthasya grihastrai varrikako hatah. He jivagan ऐहिक सुखे अतृप्त पारलौकिक सुख संपादने विमुख अल्प पुण्यशाली मादृश दुर्मतिर दुर्गति दर्शन करो जेहेतु अद्य आमार त्रिवर्ग साधन भूत गृहाश्रम विनष्ट होइलो. He started to lament. Alas, you see, all of you, my position. What is this? Aihika sukha atripta. I am not satisfied with my material pleasures. Is there anyone in this world who is satisfied with the material pleasures? Nobody in this world is satisfied with the material pleasures. As much one gets, he wants even more. He will not say, okay, I am done, I don't want any more. No. So much pleasure we get, so much more we want. That is why Bhaktivinoda Thakur in one of his kirtans he writes, for so long I have become slave of my senses who are merciless masters. You understand? I have become slave of my senses which are like merciless masters. What is merciless master? How much ever you serve, he is not satisfied. He wants more. Oh, why did you do this? I want this, I want this. So he's telling that my senses are like merciless masters and I have become slave to that. Means the senses will never become satisfied. How much ever you provide to them. You eat, you provide enough to your eyes, but he is not satisfied. You have seen, Hawaii Islands, you have seen Nigerian waterfalls, you have seen Paris Eiffel Tower, you have seen this, you have seen that, but that place I have not seen yet. It still remains. Your eyes will not say, I have seen enough, now let me stop looking at all these things, let me see Bhagavan. No, I have not seen that. I have eaten rasgullas, gulab jamuns, so many other things. Italian pazza still remains to be eaten. Means the senses they're never satisfied. They will ask for more and more. So Bhaktivinoda Thakur says these are merciless masters. Why did I waste my time becoming a slave of my merciless masters? Rather, Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is so easily pleased. Prahlad Maharaj says to the demoniac boys, he tells that, why are you wandering after material pleasures? All of you should worship Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, who is the cause of all causes, who is the maintainer and protector of all the living entities. Why are you wasting your time uselessly here? Worship him. Then the demoniac boys ask him, Prahlad, your words are very sweet. Somehow they are very captivating. But what we don't understand is that you are saying that we are so insignificant and our only, resort or refuge is in the service of that Virat Purusha, that Supreme Lord. So how can insignificant person serve that Supreme Being? How is it possible? Then Prahlad Maharaj says, you see, in order to please your family, in order to please your society, in order to please your country, you have to do so many things. Do this, but still they are satisfied or not, nobody knows. Still they want more. But Supreme Lord is not like that. He is the most dear to you because he is sitting inside your heart. If anyone is dear, that is Supreme Lord. Whom you are loving, he is also outside you. You are loving your father, you are loving your mother, you are loving your husband, wife, children. They are outside of you. But Supreme Lord is inside you. Who can be more dear than Supreme Lord? And in order to please him, you don't have to undergo so many severe austerities like in this material world. How much ever you do to a wife or to a husband, there is a complaint always. My wife does not do this or my husband does not do this. It is there. How much ever you give your entire life, still there is a complaint. But the Lord, he will not say, for so many years you have not worshipped me, just now you are worshipping, why should I come? No, he will not say that. He will not say like that. In this material world, we do like this. Dhruva, in 6 months he attained Supreme Lord. Within 6 months. Why? He did not say that you wasted so many millions of births, lifetimes, why should I come now? Now you suffer, I'll let you suffer. No. He immediately came. Because the Lord is the dearmost object of all the living entities. But we try to please our sense organs, which are never satisfied. They are merciless. So here he is telling that, alas, see my position, what situation I am in today. Aihika sukhe atripta, I am not satisfied now. Till now I am not satisfied. I want more company of my wife for longer. I want the company of my children for longer. I am not still satisfied. Will anyone be satisfied? Until deathbed he is not satisfied. Oh Lord, give me one more day so that I can spend my time with the children. Still is not satisfied. He will not think that at least for one day let me worship. No. He want to spend that even last one day also with the family. This is the position of the living beings. Paralaukik sukh sampadane vimukha. And other worlds, happiness in other worlds, I have not done any good things. In this material world, in the current life, I am not satisfied. I will not be elevated to higher planets to get happiness there also, because I have not done any good activities. So I am deprived of happiness here and happiness there also. Alpapunyashali, I have no good deeds, or I have not done any pious deeds. Madrisha durmati durgati, telling that so unfortunate, misfortunate, and durmati, and ill-fated, unfortunate, ill-fated person. See me, I am an example of that. He is crying in lamentation. The he pigeon, he is crying in lamentation. He is not crying that, oh, I have, uselessly wasted my time by not worshipping the Supreme Lord. Still he is in Maya. Like Bhaktivinoda Thakur, he writes, Narottam Das Thakur, Vifale janama gavainu, manusha janama paiya, Radha Krishna na paiya, janiya shuniya visha khainu. He is telling that after I have got this human birth, I have wasted my time uselessly by not worshipping Supreme Lord. A person who is spiritually inclined, how will that inclination come? Only when associated with the sadhus. If we are associating with other family persons, other materialistic persons, where is there a possibility to get the service attitude? Matirna Krishna Paratasvato va. Even by combined effort of all the Grihamedis, the materialistically inclined people, even by the combined effort, all of them, nobody can become Krishna Bhakta. By his individual effort also, or by the combined effort of a family of persons, one Krishna Bhakti cannot be produced. Then how can Krishna Bhakti come? Nishkinchananam yat pada rajo abhishekam, unless one is washed by the dust of the feet of a pure devotee, Krishna Bhakti cannot come. Means one has to come under the holy association of the pure devotees to get the sprout of bhakti in the heart. But till the point we are wandering in this material world in the middle of the materialistic persons, trying to rub shoulders against their shoulders, then never Krishna Bhakti will not be produced. Bino satsang vivek na hoy. Without a holy association, viveka means good intelligence will never come. Good intelligence comes only in the association of the pure devotees. They will tell, why are you wasting the time? Vifale janama gavainu. Narottam Das Thakur is expert. He is saying that, why are you wasting? Then I will say, oh, you are telling me. He is taking on himself. I have wasted time. This is the way the acharyas, they instruct us. I have wasted time uselessly by not worshipping Supreme Lord. He has not wasted. Right from the child he was inclined to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mission. But he is telling to all of us that after I got this human birth, I have not worshipped Supreme Lord, wasted my time. Janiya shuniya visha khainu. Knowingly I have consumed poison. This material world is what? It's a poison. We are not thinking that we are drinking poison. Actually, we are drinking poison every day. Only poison. So, ultimately, we will be deprived of this world's happiness, and the opportunity that we have got in this human birth to get to the spiritual world and get permanent happiness, that also we are deprived of by consuming this poison of material world. So, he is telling that, you see me, a person who is ill-fated, unfortunate, not completely being satisfied with the material pleasures, not able to get pleasures in the above planetary worlds, a person who is, who has no pious activities. See my state. Amar trivarga sadhana bhuto grihasthashram vinashta hailo. My family is completely devastated now. What is the purpose of my living? I can get dharma, artha, kama, all these three things fulfilled when my family is living. But now, when family is not there, I am deprived of all these things. Anurupānukula cha yasya be pati devata shunye grihe mam santyajya putraihi swarjati sadhubihi. Hi. अद्य आमार पतिव्रता अनुगता अनुरूपा भार्या आमाके शून्य गृहे परित्याग करिया साधु पुत्रगणेर सहित स्वर्ग गमन करिलो. He is lamenting, alas, what is my situation now? My chaste lady, my obedient follower lady, and my order carrying wife, she is leaving my house. She's dying. She got trapped. My wife, he is singing all the good qualities of the wife. See, either we sing qualities of Lord or we sing qualities of the materialistic persons. To glorify is there in our attitude. Either we sing or we praise or we blame. That this is there in all the living entities. Either you blame others or you talk about others, good about others. If we don't sing the glories of Supreme Lord Sri Krishna, then we will utilize our tongue in speaking either ill or praise about materialistic persons. So here he is lamenting, alas, see my position, my wife, who is so obedient, who is so order carrying, and who is my chaste, means very faithful woman. Now she is making my house, devoid of our presence, and along with my sadhu children, means my beautiful saintly children, she is also going. मोहम शून्ये गृहे दीनो मृतदारो मृतप्रजः जिजीविषे किमर्थं वा विधुरो दुःख जीवितः अनंतर अमी दीनो मृतदारो मृतपुत्र বিরহ বেদনাগ্রস্ত এবং কষ্টপ্রদ জীবন ধারণ করিয়া কি জন্যই বা জীবিত থাকিতে ইচ্ছা করি. He is further lamenting, after my beautiful wife is gone, after my saintly or very beautiful children, they are gone, me alone, destitute, not having any shelter, not having anyone to love me, how can I survive in this separation? How can I live my life, which is so difficult to carry on without their presence? Because he has so much attachment to them. He feels that now if they are not there, it's very difficult to survive. So how can I survive the remaining part of my life without the presence of my beautiful wife and children? How can I live in their separation? And why should I do so? What is the purpose in living if my wife and children are not there? Completely deviated from the purpose of his life. He was thinking like this, what is the purpose of my living if my wife and children are not there? Tangs tathaivaavritan shig bhimrityugrastan vicheshtatah स्वयंच कृपणः शिक्षु पश्यन्नानंतर ए रूपे मूर्ख कातरचित्त कपोत संतानगण के जाल द्वारा आबद्ध मरणोन्मुख एवं मुक्तिर्जन्य प्रयासशील दर्शन कोरियाओ स्वयं जाले निपतित होइलो. So thinking like this, lamenting in this manner, the foolish pigeon, he became overly moroseful or overwhelmed with the separation of the she pigeon and the children. He was seeing in front of him that the she pigeon and the children are bound, and they are trying all their ways to get out of that bondage, and they are not able to do so. He saw all this, that I am going to go, I will also be bound. He knows, because they are trying to free themselves, but they are not able to free themselves. Even seeing all these things, he approached the net, and then he also got caught in that bondage. Tang lubdakah krurah kapotam grihamedinam कपोतकान् कपोतींच सिद्धार्थः प्रययौ गृहम् अनंतर क्रूरो लुब्धचित्तो व्याध এই রূপে গৃহমেধি कपोत कपोती एवं शावकगणेर लाभ सिद्धि मनोरथ হইয়া নিজ গৃহে প্রস্থান করিল. So the hunter, now a very happy person, he got small babies and male pigeon and female pigeon also free of cost. He thought, I have only this in my meals today, but he has got some more extra, he can feed others also, or he can eat in the night also again. So he was very happy and greedily he accepted, and he took all these birds very happily and greedily he went to his house. So I remembered one joke. It's a joke, but it is very nice, it has lesson also, moral in it. So it's a mundane joke, but still, it's very nice to remember. One person, he was a drunkard. He's drinking always, and then a person who is saintly, he told, see, if you drink liquor, if you drink wine, you have to go to hell. Oh, I have to go to hell. But he says, my wife is also drinking liquor. She will also go to hell. No, but my children, they also drink. They will also go to hell. Then he says, Swamiji, then it is not hell, it is heaven. My wife is there, my children are there. It is no more a hell, it is a heaven. So he looks pleasures in this. So in this way, now, he is now free, he can perform worship of Supreme Lord. He is not like that. He is telling that wherever my wife is there, wherever my children are there, I will also go and trapped, and I will also die. So this is the situation of the living entities. Evam kutumbashyantatma dvandva ramah patatrivat pushnan kutumbam karanah सानुबद्धो अवसीदति. पूर्वोक्त कपोत तुल्य मिथुन सुखरत दीन अजितेन्द्रिय बहुपोष्य युक्त पुरुषौ এই রূপে পোষ্য গণের পালন কার্যে আসক্ত হইয়া পশ্চাৎ পরিজনের সহিত ক্লেশগ্রস্ত হইয়া থাকে. So here Avadhuta Brahmana is telling to Yadu that just like the male pigeon who was Mithuna Sukharata, who was extremely attached to the sex pleasures, Dina, very, always looking for the mercy, and Ajitendriya, whose senses are not controlled, and Bahuposha Yukta, and on whom so many persons are dependent, he is taking care of all of them. In such a way, he is very happily taking care of all those who are dependent on him, and because of his caring towards those who are dependent on him, he gets overly attached to them. And as a result, whatever suffering they undergo, he will also undergo. Even though it is difficult, he will take care of them, and then all the suffering that his family is undergoing, he will also undergo. You see, our situation is, we are Atma, but we are forgetful of that Atma, our external, body. Whatever troubles we get to this body, we feel them to be our troubles. We are distressed by that. And we are completely distraught by those troubles. But more conditioning is that extended family. This body itself is one family. Extended family, wife, children, friends, in-laws, parents, so many things. So, if anything happens to anything, I will feel troubled, because wherever there is attachment, it is a very subtle way. His body is getting troubled, but somehow I get troubled because I have attachment to him. Isn't it? This is the situation. But if there is no attachment, if we understand that in this material world these things are inevitable, these things are bound to happen, therefore everything will have to undergo these transformations for sure. That day will come to me also, therefore he will learn a lesson. You see, right now he is in that situation, tomorrow the same situation will come to me also. Let me be wise. An intelligent person or a person who is in sadhu sangha, he will think like this. This situation has come to them, it will come to me also. That's why Yudhishthir Maharaj, he answers one of the questions to Yaksha, the crane. Aharni ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram seshastiratham icchanti kim ascharyamatah param. He is asking what is the crane demon or Yaksha. He had put a question. What is the most wonderful thing, amazing thing in this world? What is most amazing? Taj Mahal, Eiffel Tower, China Wall. These things are most amazing things, wonderful things. But he is telling, Aharni ahani bhutani gacchanti yama mandiram. Day and night, I am seeing that living entities are dying. Yama mandir means crematorium. Day and night people are going to crematorium. Those who have taken birth before me, they are dying. Those who have taken birth along with me, they are dying. Those who have taken birth after me, they are also dying. Seshastiratham icchanti. And those who are living, they think that I am going to survive for some more time. There is no worry. Kim ascharyamatah param. What is more surprising than this? Yudhishthira Maharaj says, what is more surprising than this? We are seeing everyone dying, but still we feel that, oh, we are safe. We are never safe in this material world. Those who think that they are safe in this material world, they are foolish. This material world is never a safe place to live. So, here he is telling that instead of the Avadhuta is telling, instead of thinking that, oh, they are gone, I will also be gone one day. Instead of thinking like this, he was like, what is the use of my living without their presence? In thinking in this way, he also, because of Ajitendri, because his senses are not controlled. If senses are not controlled, how can the good intelligence come? Intelligence comes when the senses are not overly, hankering for material pleasures. If the senses are overly hankering for material pleasures, what will intelligence say? Intelligence will only say how to enjoy those senses. He will not let the senses come out of that hankering. Isn't it? If our hankering is more towards material enjoyment, intelligence will be used where? On how to get our sense gratification fulfilled, not on how to get rid of it. But when one comes in the association with the sadhus, he will give the intelligence how to get rid of those material attachments. So in this way, kleshagrasta ho tha कि a person who has attachment to family, over concern, over taking care, over dependent, or taking care of the dependent persons, his ultimate position is he will be bound to suffer. At the time of doing it also there is suffering, isn't it? It's not that it's a pain. Bringing this, bringing that, doing this, it's a pain. While doing that also it is painful. And while it is not present, that is also painful. So he is neither happy while doing it, nor happy after he gets free out of it. Because he has no attachment to the Lord. Yeah. Prapya manusham lokam mukti dwaram apavritam griheshu khagavat sattastam aruda chutam viduhu. जे पुरुष विमुक्त अर्थात अर्गल रहित मुक्ति द्वार स्वरूप मनुष्य देह लाभ करियाओ कपोतेर नाय देह धर्मई आसक्त है पंडितगण ताहाके आरूढ़चित अर्थात श्रेय पथे आरोहण करियाओ पतित बोलिया अवगत हन. So the lesson that Avadhuta Brahmana is telling from this is, a person who has got this human birth and he has got a beautiful opportunity to get out of this material bondage. Human birth means he can discriminate. Therefore, after getting this human birth, and means getting an opportunity to attain the Supreme Lord or get out of these material hankerings, if even that person also, just like this pigeon, gets attached to family and he falls down from his actual, endeavor, or he does not endeavor to get the actual welfare, that person is like, after climbing a few steps, he had fallen back. That person is like that. Getting a human birth means we have got an elevated state where we can use that steps as a medium to attain Supreme Lord. But even after getting such an opportunity, if a human is not utilizing it for attaining Supreme Lord, then it's like even after climbing 10 steps, he is again falling back to zero. Whatever opportunity is gone is lost. So now there is no time. Prabhupada has given commentary to this. We will read the commentary to this tomorrow, and this is the end of this chapter also. Okay, so next chapter continues with what are the other gurus and what lessons he learnt. But tomorrow we will read the purport of this. Vancha kalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya eva cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namah.